Now, the way that this works is you should have already received your username and password from the club, but if that, you can contact us at any time. I will give you our contact information near the end of the call. Now, before I talk about how to use the program, I do want to talk about why you should use it. The first reason why you want to use this is because everyone on this call has access to this program already because the club has picked up the cost of this, so everyone in the club, high school age players, do have access to this. So that is one reason why you should use it. But there's a lot of tools and things that you're going to need to use through this recruiting process. You're going to have to build profiles and videos and keep track of all your correspondence, and then also do all of the research and contact coaches. So College Fit Finder is going to allow you to do all of that in one spot. We've also created some tools that allow players that are actively using the program and are proactive with their recruiting process to get more exposure, and I will talk about some of those tools that we've created. Now, with that being said, this is just a technology, so if you are not actively going on the program and creating good habits and doing some of the things that I'm going to talk about tonight, it's not going to help you as much as someone that's on there, multiple times a week and doing some of the things that I will talk about. Now, all I have to do is go to collegefitfinder.com, click login. It's going to take you to a new page where I enter my username and password. Once I enter that, you're going to see a bunch of tabs. Now, for the most part, your username is just your first and last name, all lowercase and no spaces. Make sure your username is spelled correctly, because let's just say you go through this entire process, you fill out your player profile, and then you realize that your name is spelled wrong. I would have to delete your account and create a new one. So make sure your username is spelled correctly before you do anything. Now, your password is going to be the same, so you do want to change your password the first time you log in. To do that, in the right corner, you're just going to see these three lines. Click on account info. And then when I scroll down, I'm able to just change the password here, and it will allow me to have a little bit more security on my account. Now, really quickly, I just didn't show you what it looks like to log in. So once I do click login here, it goes to a new page. Then I enter my username and password, and then it takes you into your account. Same thing, click on the three lines, go to account info, and that's how I change my password. Now, once you've done that, I just click on profile, and it's going to take me to my individual player profile. Now, one thing you're going to notice is all of your tabs disappear, and the reason why that is because if I send this to a college coach, I only want them to have access to the player profile. So to send this to a coach, all I have to do is copy and paste the URL at the top. Now, when I put this in an email and a coach clicks on the link, they're going to be able to navigate around using these tabs. Now, the first thing I want to do is enter a player profile picture. There won't be a logo here. It'll just be a blank circle. I just click on that. It opens up a new page. If you click Browse, it'll allow you to pull a file from your computer and then crop it. I'm also able to make sure that my grad year is accurate. And when you do commit to a university, all you have to do is go in here and type in the name of the university. Once you submit it, multiple things are going to happen. First thing is you're going to see the logo of the school that you committed to show up. This will create a team brochure for your team manager when you're able to go back to events. When you commit, on that, it will say committed with a logo of the school you're going to. That's done automatically. And the last thing is we give out free accounts to college coaches. So we want to make sure that if you're committed, it says that, so college coaches aren't reaching out to you on the back end of the program. Now, to change things in the player profile, I just click on something. When I change it and move on to a new line, it'll automatically save that information. A lot of the information is drop down, so I just have to select the correct information there. I'm able to put in my major. I'm able to put in any type of social media accounts. Now, I'm sure there's some players wondering, why would I want to put on my social media accounts? Now, as you go through this process, a lot of coaches will actually give their list of recruits to companies that go through the internet, through social media, and make sure there's really no red flags of players they're bringing into their program. So if there are things on your social media that may not make you look good, this could cost you roster spots or scholarships, and this stuff does happen to players every year. So it is important to go into your social media accounts, clear those out to make sure there's nothing that's going to give you any negativity in there. The other thing is if you do a lot of positive things when it comes to soccer, maybe you're really good at juggling, or maybe you coach younger players when you're able to coach younger players and you have video of that. If I do have that kind of content, it's good to put it on your player profile because now coaches can kind of get to know you a little bit more and other things you're doing besides soccer. Or maybe you just have a really good play, you could even put that on your social media. So it can be a very positive tool if you're doing it correctly. The biggest thing is just to make sure that you know that coaches do have the ability to be able to find what is on your social media regardless. So just make sure that you're taking care of that before this process starts. Now, under the personal statement, I'm able to go in here and just talk about myself as a soccer player, but I do want to talk about the other things that would help me stand out. So if you're really good, if you have really good grades, or you train 6 or 7 days a week, whatever those things are, make sure you're putting it in your personal statement so that if someone were to read this, they'd want to find out more about you and kind of take a deeper dive into your player profile. Now, the other thing I can do is I can put in my NCAA eligibility number. What this is if you want to play Division I or Division II, you need to go to the NCAA Eligibility Center. It costs around $90. You have to fill out basically a bunch of questions. Now, if you do want to play at the Division I or Division II level, once you do that, you're going to get a number. It basically says you're eligible to play at those divisions. Now, if you do not want to play Division I or Division II, or if you talk to your coach and you realize it's not a good fit for you, you do not have to pay that money to do that. It's only for Division I or Division II. Now, if you do want to play at those divisions, it's important to get that done, you know, end of your sophomore year, beginning of your junior year. And the reason why that is because at those levels, coaches cannot contact you back until June 15th after your sophomore year. So I know there's some players wondering, okay, should I wait to contact coaches until after they can contact me? And the answer is no. Once you get through a certain part of your recruiting process, and I'll talk about those things tonight, then I'm ready to start reaching out to coaches. And that, regardless of whether I'm a freshman, a sophomore, or junior, you just want to make sure there's certain things done. Obviously, the player profile needs to be done, and I'll talk about a couple other things. But now, if I reach out to coaches before they can even reach out to me, maybe I'm getting on a list of future recruits, or maybe I'm getting on their radar so that when they do start recruiting my grad year, now I'm going to be on a list so that they can kind of recruit me and do different things like that. So it is important to reach out to coaches even if they can't reach out to you. Just make sure that your player profile is done and then your video is done, and I'll talk about a couple other things. Now, under the video tab, this is where all my highlight videos show up. This is not where I edit them. I will show you how to edit all of your highlight videos or how to upload footage in a second. All of your athletics information. Now, there's a lot of information here, and the reason why there's so much information is because there's hundreds of thousands of players throughout the country that want to play. So we are giving you the ability that if you're doing all this other stuff off the field or you have awards on the field, you can put that information in there, and then now it can help you stand out between you and all of these other players. I can even put in newspaper articles, so maybe you scored a game-winning goal, sent your team to regionals, you're able to upload that article. For my academics information, I can put in all my classes and my test scores and my GPAs. Now, the other thing you can do is upload a transcript. The reason why you want to do that is because let's just say I'm being recruited by a couple different coaches. They look at my transcript and they realize maybe I'm missing a science course or a math course, because at certain levels, I do need to take a certain number of courses to be eligible. Now, maybe they recognize that and tell me, hey, make sure you take that extra course so that you're eligible to play next year or the following year. Now, all this allows them to do is, again, help you while you're being recruited. But now if I have really good grades, I do want to put those front and center. So if you do have a transcript and you have good grades, you can upload that. Any type of honors or accomplishments or volunteer work that you do, again, you want to make sure you're putting all that stuff in so that you can stand out. For your references, I can put up to 4 references. Just make sure all the contact information is up to date. You can either put how you know the coach or how long you've been on their team, or maybe if they can write you a small blurb about what type of player you are, that would be good as well. But the biggest thing is to make sure that you contact all your references to let them know their references so that they're ready to give you a good recommendation. You don't want a college coach calling your reference and the whole time your reference is saying, I'm sorry, who is this? Who are you talking about? Now, instead, you tell them, you let them know their reference, they're okay with it, and now they're ready to give you a good recommendation. Now, under your contact info, make sure this is up to date as well, because I did mention those college coaches that can have free accounts through us. So college coaches that are looking for players, let's just say they're looking for a 2022 3.5 GPA center mid, and your player profile gets pulled up, but you don't have any contact information filled out, they're probably just going to move on to another player. So it's important that you and your coach's contact information is up to date. The other thing I can do is I can print out a one-page sheet of my player profile. So if I just click print, it's going to download the PDF to your computer. So now if I click on the PDF, it pulls up a one-page sheet. So now I can do 2 things. I can either print this out or download this so that I can attach it as a PDF to an email. So I do have multiple ways to send this to a coach, whether I print it, download the PDF, or like I mentioned, under the overview tab here, just copy and paste the URL, put that in an email, they click on the link, they navigate around now. Now, once you're done with your profile, again, to get back to where all your tabs are, just click on that CFF logo, and it takes you back to where all your tabs are. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the highlight videos. So for the Girls 06A team, if they haven't received their username and passwords, I'm going to give my email. I just want you to email me. I think you've emailed me before, Julie. So if you can just email me, if we don't have them in the system, I can add them. So just email me afterwards. I'll tell you exactly what I need. And then if they don't have their username and passwords already in the system, we can upload them. If they're there, I'll just send you their username and passwords. Same thing for everybody. I'll put in our contact information here when I get to the end. And then that way, if you do not have your username and passwords, you'll be able to contact us and we'll be able to help you out. Now, the next thing is talking about highlight videos. So this allows you to upload video footage, and I can basically edit my own videos. So the first thing I want to do is I want to upload my footage to a platform like YouTube or Vimeo, anything that gives me a share link. I'm able to just go in here afterwards, click on the share link, copy and paste it. Then I just copy and paste my link here. Now let's just say you have 3 or 4 games and you want to put in these multiple games so that way you can take footage from all of these different games. Sorry, I just got to find one that actually works. Click on it after I upload it. Click on the share link, copy and paste, and then just put it where it says paste your link here. So if you have 3 or 4 games, you could just continue to put in games as you're moving forward. So if you have 3 or 4, just copy and paste the same way I just did. Now once you're ready, you press start. It's going to take you into the first video. Now all I have to do is when I get to a part that I want to start recording, I just click start highlight. I'm just going to wait till the next play. And it's going to start recording that part of the video. So let's just say this next play is me scoring a goal or me making a good pass. I just click start highlight. It starts to record that part of the video. Now I let this highlight play out. And once I want it to stop recording, I just click finish highlight in the same spot. Now on the bottom, you're going to see a back arrow. When you hover over it, it says previous highlight. So you just click on that, and it takes you back to the highlight that you just created. Now let's just say you want to add something to this highlight. So first thing is, whenever I want to add like an overlay or something, you just pause it when I want to add the overlay. So first thing I want to do is I want to put a description of this on the right side. So let's just say, you know, I did this 15 or 20 times. I just want to make sure that I know what each highlight is so I can put this in the correct order. So I'm just going to put the word goal, but you can put a full description of what this is. Only you can see that. Now let's just say I want to add an overlay. It's important to spot shot of yourself or allow the coaches to know who they're looking at, because maybe this isn't you. Maybe you're the one that made the pass, or maybe you're making a run into the play. Whatever it might be, they just need to know who they're looking at every single play. So to spot shot of themselves or add an arrow, you just click on the circle. Circle shows up on the video. Put it around yourself. Make it a little bit smaller. Again, you can insert an arrow or just text, so maybe you just want to insert the word goal. The word's going to show up. I can then move it wherever I want, make it bigger or smaller, and then what happens is it's going to freeze your highlight, put a circle around you, put the word goal, then it will continue to play through the highlight that you created. It only freezes it for about 1 to 2 seconds. Now once you're done, I just have to click on video selection, or I can go down here and just select a different part of the video, or I'm just going to move on to the next video. Now, if this ever happens where I click on a video that I've put in and it says, oops, seems that this video is currently not available, what that means is that your video is not public. It means it's private. So I have to go into whatever platform I'm using, turn that to a public video, and then that way it can stream through our platform. So if you ever run into this error, just go in, I can just delete it here, and then re-add it right here where it says add videos. So since that doesn't work, I'm just going to go back to the other video I was on. Now, let's just say I want to start recording this again, a different play. Just going to wait till the next play again. I just click start highlight again. It starts to record that part of the video. I click finish highlight, hover over where it says previous highlight, click back and pause it, add my description, add my overlays, and now I'm just really just repeating that process over and over. Now, the other thing I can do is I can add titles. So let's just say I want to add a title. I click on titles, insert title. let's just say I'm a goal scorer and I just want a title that says goals. Type in the word's going to show up. I can move it to the middle, make it bigger, and now I have a title. Now to change the order of the video is really simple. I just click on something, I drag it, and I drop it. Once you're done with your video, you just save it. I can upload an image, change the name of the video. Now it is streaming off the platform that you're using, so I can give people the ability to watch the full video. But if I don't want them to watch the full video, only the highlights, you disable watching full video by clicking there. When I publish it, it posts to the player profile. Now one thing that you can do is it does post to your player profile, but if you want to send it to a coach, click on the play button. Click on the play button one more time. And in the top right corner, you're going to see something that says share. This will give you a link to send outside of your player profile. So you do have multiple ways to send it to coaches. Now, one thing I like about the system is you can go back in and edit existing videos. So let's just say you made a couple mistakes that you just want to change around the order, or you just want to update one of your videos because it's been a while and you have new footage. Just click edit. Takes you right back to where you were. So now if you just need to make changes, I can just click here, drag and drop, or I can watch some of my old highlights or adjust them. Or if I don't like something, I can delete it. Now, if I want to add new footage where it says video selection, just click on the plus sign, copy and paste the new link so the new videos will show up. Once you're done making your changes, you just save it again, publish it again, and then it's going to post whatever changes you make to your player profile. And if I've sent that link to a college coach, they're going to see all those changes that you've made. You don't have to resend that link. Again, if I send my player profile, they'll have all my videos that I've created under there as well. Now, the next thing is the recruiting tab. So if you haven't logged into College Fit Finder before, it usually takes you to the colleges tab, but we created a new feature that forces you to go here and fill these out first. And the reason why that is because college coaches can search off of these. So if you don't have them filled out, there's no way for them to use that tool. But let's just say you fill this out and college coaches are looking for someone looking for their division or their location or their school size or their majors. And if you match what that coach is looking for, those preferences, your player profile can get pulled up in a search. Also, it's important that if any of your club coaches are helping you and they can see this information, now they're able to help you with your preferences and make sure that you're being realistic and those type of things as well. The other thing, when I do go to every single college or a college page, it will give me a match based on how good of a fit that is for me. And part of that is my preferences. So if I do go to the colleges tab, you'll see a pop-up. You haven't filled out your preferences. You click on the orange button. It takes you here. You fill out your preferences, and then I can go to my college tab. If you don't have a preference, you can just put no preference, and that'll count as if you filled it out. It's really important to keep those up to date as well. Again, college coaches can search off those, so you want to make sure that if you did want to play a certain division and that's changed, that you make sure you reflect that. Now, under the colleges tab, this is the most important part of the program. The reason why is because it allows you to put in what you're looking for in a school, and it's going to pull up a list of schools that match that. But it also allows you to basically do the research and find schools that are a good fit for what you're looking for. So now when you're building your list, you are going to have more success because you're going to have schools that fit you and what you're looking for. So the way that it works is all I have to do is select men or women's soccer on the left side. I go in here and I like to search off of fit. So just make sure it's searching off of fit. Now I can search based off division. So if you want to play, D1 or D2 or D3, you can put in those divisions that you want to play. I can search based off of the team rating. This is based on the last 3 years record of every team. So if you don't want to play for a team that's going 1-19 every year, you would take the team rating and scroll it up. The higher the team rating, the better their win-loss record is. I can search based off of my GPA or my test scores. I can search off of power ranking. I'll explain this a lot better when I go to the college page in a second. Now I can search off of different parts of the country. So if you want to play on the East Coast, you also want to play on the West Coast, and then maybe you also have family in Colorado, so you want to see schools in Colorado. You can do as many different parts of the country or states as you want, and it's automatically going to filter over here. Now I can search based off major. Now there's two types of ways to search off major. The top one that says major category, what this means is, let's just say you're not quite sure what you want to do, but you might want to do something business related. So if I'm not quite sure what I want to do, I use the top one so that if I were to type in business, it's going to show me business, but all of the related majors that are related to business, like management and marketing and other things like that. So now if I'm not sure what I want to do and I just want to search under a category, I can do that. But now let's just say I know exactly what I want to study. The second one that says major allows you to go in here and just type in the exact name of what you're trying to study. So that way I can select the major that you know you want to study and make sure the school you're looking at has that major. Now I can search based off of the size of the school, any type of affiliations or settings, and then how much it costs to go to school per year. Now, what you'll see is you're going to see a score under each school. What that's saying is based on my filters over here, this school is a 92% fit for me. So as I scroll down, you're going to lose some of your fit score based on different information you've put in. If you want to find out more about a school, you just click on the card. It shows up on the right side. Now it's going to show you the average GPAs and test scores of people getting, and the students getting into the school, the division, the team rating. Again, this was based on the last 3 years record. Has an overall snapshot of the school. Also, I can see the head coach here. Let's just say this head coach left a week ago or a month ago, and you know that because the coach was recruiting you, or you went on the website and you found that out. Just click report coaching change. Type in wrong coach. It will send us an email, and then we'll make the change within 24 hours. So we keep our database really up to date, and if you do see a mistake, click on that. It'll send us an email, and we'll be able to update that so you can reach out to that coach. Now, if you want to find out more information about the school, just click more info. Now it's going to take you into a college page. So we created our own college pages because sometimes university websites can be very difficult. Sometimes you can't find the information you're looking for. So we made our own to make it easier on the student athlete. So you're going to notice here where it says power ranking. What this is based on 3 things. It's based on the academics of the school, the division they play in, and the team ranking or the last 3 years record. So hypothetically, a Division III team could be a higher power ranking than a Division I team if the Division III team went 21-1, has great academics, and the Division I team went 1-19 and doesn't have very good academics. So this is just an overall snapshot of the school based on their academics and their team. Now this is based off of you as the player. So it's saying the school I'm looking at is a 60% match for me, and this is based off your profile and your preferences. This will change based on every single school I look at. So if I don't fill out my profile very well, and again, now we're kind of forcing you to fill out your preferences, that's the reason why we want you to fill out your preferences, so this number can be accurate. Now, once I go to do the research, all the applying information, I'm able to see all the application information and deadlines. You're going to notice on the left side a bunch of suggestions. What it's saying is based off the school you're looking at over here, here's some other schools that might be a good fit for you. So if you want to find out more about a school, just click on the name and it'll take you to that college page. Now, as I go through up here, like to research the academics and the majors, every time I click up here, this list over here shuffles. So now it'll give you a good look of schools that possibly you've never heard of that will be a good fit for you. Again, if you don't like the school you're looking at, these schools you might not like as well because it is based off the power ranking of the school you're looking at, and these are the suggestions that it's telling you could be a good fit. I'm able to see all the financial information, student information. I'm able to go to their websites. So one reason why you'd want to go to their athletics website is because if you really want to go to a school, it's important to go on their website and fill out the recruiting questionnaire. It's very simple to do. They're usually in the same spot under recruits or athletes or something like that. It'll say recruiting questionnaire. You click on it. It takes you about 5 to 10 minutes. Some might be a little bit longer than others. But the reason why you want to do that is because you get put in their database. So now you're going to get information and up-to-date things about what's going on in the program. But the other thing is now you're in their database, and let's just say that I want to reach out to them. Now if I do their recruiting questionnaire, then reach out to them with an email, they're going to be hearing my name twice, once from their own school because I filled out the recruiting questionnaire, and then once from me with my player profile and my video and all of those other things. So if I do that, again, it could be a reason why they remember who you are and get back to you. It doesn't mean that they're going to. I still have to do a good job of being able to stand out and talk about some of the things that are the reasons why I want to go to school when I do email them, but it will kind of give you a leg up, especially if I really want to go to that school. Now, if you got 200 schools on your list, don't go fill out 200 recruiting questionnaires. I would just say, fill out the top 20, top 25. Now I can see the last 3 to 5 years record, so I can see how the school has progressed. I can see the staff information, so now I can reach out to the coaches if I do want to talk to them. Now, once I've done the research, if I like a school, all I have to do is where you see this heart on every card. all I have to do is if I like a school and want to put it on my favorites list, just click on the heart. It'll send it to your favorites list, which is a sub-tab right here. So now the school I just put on my list, you're going to notice it says 0. If I want to put this list in order of my preference, I just click here and drag it. Once I drop it, it'll change the order of the list. Now, one of the tools that I had mentioned about being able to get more exposure if I'm actively using the program is that if I put a school on my favorites list, if a college coach has an account through us and they're using it, there's a tab that says likes our school. So every single time I put a school on my favorites list, my player profile goes in the tab that says likes our school. Now, like a University of Portland or something like that, that's going to have like 10,000 kids in it, so it probably won't help you. But there's a lot of programs out there that might have 5, 10 kids on the list. Now, just because I'm on a list of 5 or 10 kids doesn't mean I'm going to get a call back or get recruited. I have to make sure that I'm doing those things that we talked about previously to stand out with your profile, also to stand out with your highlight video. So it is important that I am doing those things so that when I do put a school on my favorites list and maybe I'm on a list of 5 kids that likes the school, now it's a reason why I stand out and the coach will get back to me. Again, I don't want to just rely on coaches using the system. It's more of a bonus for people that are actively using the program. Now, under the Activity tab, this allows you to keep track of all your correspondence. So, again, we've finished our profile, we've put on our highlight videos, we've filled out our player preferences, we've built some sort of a list and put schools on our list, and now we're ready to start reaching out. So, under our Activity tab, if I do have a lot of schools I'm talking to, it's going to be hard to keep track of all of that. So, let's just say you're about to hop on the phone with a school. I could type in the name of a school here. Oh, sorry about that. I can type in the name of a school, and now when I click on it, it's going to filter to show me all of the correspondence that I had with that school. So if you want to look at your last couple emails or phone calls, just click on the card. It shows up what you put in the system. So now I can make sure I remember what we talked about, and most importantly, I'm not getting anything confused between different programs or coaches. Now there's 2 ways to add in your information into here. First way is, let's just say you have a phone call, email, through your own email. I'm able to click on this plus sign up here. You can put in the date, the college that you spoke to. Was it a phone call? Was it an email? Did they call you? Did you call them? And then now you can basically just copy and paste your email, type in notes about your conversation. So now when you save it, you're going to be able to go back and look at that conversation just like I did, and that way you can have a good conversation with a coach. Now, you can also email through the system. You can email one program at a time. To do that, I just click on the sport. I select men or women's soccer. Once it filters, you just click on the envelope. I type in the name of the one school that I want to email. Sorry, wrong one. Sorry, guys, I'm using a new laptop and I'm not quite used to it yet. So now, when I click here, it's going to show me all of the school, all of the coaches. It's going to email from that one school. Now I can type in my email. My player profile is going to already be attached. Now, when I go and email a coach, I do want to talk about why I want to go to their school, the research that I've done. Hey, coach, I want to go to your school because I want to be a business major and you're a top 25 business school. Or, you know, I have family in the area. I visit this school all the time in the summers and I love it and I know I want to go to school there. Whatever reasons you have, you do want to talk about those reasons. I don't really want to talk about myself too much unless it's something really big that stands out, because all that info will be on your player profile. So if I have this really long email talking about yourself, they may not even read it. But if I have all this information about why, the research I've done and why I want to go to their school, and then I have a very neat player profile that allows them to kind of do their own research and look at my video, that is the best way a coach is going to get back to me. Now, if they don't get back to you right away, I would follow up with a phone call. Again, if they don't get back to you on that phone call, now I can probably send another email and just see if they've received your first one. And then you kind of just repeat that process. So some coaches are different. Some respond right away. Some take forever. And again, remember the rules. So if I am a freshman or a sophomore right now, you know, I'm not going to be able to be contacted by Division I or Division II. So now once I press next, it's going to preview my email. Now this is what it looks like when I send it to a coach. So it's going to have my information as far as my name, grad year, GPA, position, club I play for, whatever email I typed up, and then my player profile with my contact information. Now this is exactly what it looks like when I send it through the system. So it is a summary email. That means if 100 players were to email one college coach in one day through College Fit Finder, instead of receiving 100 emails, they receive 3 summary emails, all broken down looking exactly like this. So if you don't want to be on a summary email, email through your own email, click on the plus sign, and then manually enter it. But if you do send it through the system, it will automatically track it for you. Now, I know I've talked about a lot of different things tonight. I'm going to go back to the other page to see if people have questions. But under the support tab, there are tutorial videos of every section of College Fit Finder. So if you do want to find out more about something or you just forgot, again, I recorded this. I'll send that out. But if you just want to watch a 2 or 3 minute video, you're able to go in here and watch a tutorial video. If you do have questions or you need help with something or you don't think something's working correctly, you can reach out to us. We'll be able to help you with whatever you need. We're always here to help you. Now, the last thing is on the club website. There's something called the Fit Box. This is just an announcement. They're providing this for the high school age players. There's still tutorial videos. There's login instructions. We put together 28 videos about the recruiting process, talking about different things. So if you want to find out more just about the process, a lot of the stuff is coming from some college coaches, so you can find out about that. And then under resources, this is everything you need for the process. I had mentioned that, Division I or Division II, the Eligibility Center. So if you do want to go to that, and just click where it says Eligibility Center here, takes you right to it. So now if I do want to play in those divisions, I'm able to fill that out. Now, before you do fill that out, if you do have a FAFSA number, depending on your FAFSA number, sometimes you can get that $90 waived, but it will depend on your FAFSA. Also, speaking of FAFSA, if I do want to fill out a FAFSA, or if I'm going to a private university and want to do the CSS financial profile, I can just click on any one of those. It takes me right to it. SAT testing dates, weighted GPA calculator, anything you need, just click on a title. It takes you to it. Now, that's pretty much it. I'm going to go through just some of these questions that you might have. So first thing before I do that, feel free to type in any questions you have, but I'm going to give you 2 emails. First one is support@collegefitfinder.com. The second one is my email, which is Jeff, spelled Geoff, @collegefitfinder.com. So you can contact both of us or just me. If I'm busy, I'm going to forward it to our support anyway. Now, as far as your login information, if you don't have it, you can, because for the most part, it will be your first and last name, but, there's different things. There may be a number behind it, different things like that. So if you don't have it, you can contact David. Coach David will be able to help you. He's on the call right now, so make sure that you can contact him. He'll be able to give you your login information, or you can contact us if you do need anything as far as questions or help with the system as well. So how many coaches, one of the questions was, how many coaches have an account with CFF? So all of the coaches in D1, D2, D3, NAIA, some community colleges, they do have accounts. Now, how much they're actively using them, they all use them different. So some are using them just to search through all the profiles and all the people using the system. They can even search per club. So maybe if there's a college coach in your area that's using it, they could just search for all the players on your team or your club or different things like that. But right now, since everything going on with the pandemic, we've added over 300, almost 400 college coaches that were previously not using the system because we have been asking for their college coach needs and things like that. So we have been adding a ton more. We've been a lot more proactive with contacting college coaches to get more of them active on the system. And I will tell you right now, there's a lot more coaches actively using the system, and they are still recruiting. So it is important that you are still moving forward with your recruiting process. You're doing some of the things I talked about. So do colleges without accounts still show up in the college search tab? Yes, they all show up. They all show up in the college search, whether they have an account or they're using it or not. So D1, D2, D3, NAIA, all of those schools will be in there. We also do have Canadian schools now. So all those schools will be in there regardless of whether they are actively using it, somewhat using it, or not using it at all. Any other questions about anything? Again, for the login information, you can contact David. He'll be able to help you out. So what advantages does CFF have compared to competitive and similar services? So, we have a lot of different advantages. The first thing is that for the most part, we work with the club itself so that the individual players don't have to pay a ridiculous fee, and it makes it less expensive for everybody. So more people can actively use it. The other thing is that, a couple other things that we have, we are partnering with a bunch of different groups that are bringing a lot of value as far as like education. So what we do is besides this player login, we are going to be setting up other webinars talking about taking deeper dives into the college search process or saving money on tuition. So we are actively doing ongoing educational webinars as we move forward through the year. The other thing is that, you know, this will create a team brochure for your manager. So that makes it really simple. When you guys go to events, I click one button, everything looks the same for all the teams in the club. So it makes it really easy. And there's also like a CV code. So if you run out of brochures, I know sometimes as managers, we run out of brochures. A coach can literally just scan the CV or QR code, and then now it'll pull it up on their phone. So there's a lot of different things that we're doing that is going to make it easier for college coaches, but easier for teams and players to market themselves. So I would say that that's kind of the biggest advantage is if you're not a go-getter and you're not proactive, it's not going to help you as much as like a recruiting service where I'm paying a ton of money and they're doing the work for me. But with those, you know, college coaches a lot of the time aren't responding the same way as to if you are the one reaching out. So, you know, there's a lot of other advantages too. We're coming out with some more features. Again, we're actively reaching out to coaches. We're going to be continuing to get their college coach needs to be able to, you know, for the 2022s, 23s, and so on. So we're going to be continuing to do all these different things to kind of give, you know, people that are working with us an advantage. Any other questions about anything? Again, I've recorded this. I'm going to send this out. So if you need to go over something again, you're going to be able to go through the recording. If you do have questions, feel free to reach out to me or our support. Reach out to David if you do need your username and password. The last question, or another question, is what is the ideal age to start this? Now, it's going to really depend on your level. You know, if I'm a very high-level team, high-level player, I would probably want to start earlier. But for the most part, you know, I would start this, you know, 8th, 9th grade. So, you know, maybe I'm not doing as much if maybe I'm an 8th grader starting this, or if I'm a 9th grader starting this. It's really important that, you know, you are at least getting used to the program. So maybe I'm a younger player, but at least I can just start looking at the profile and start looking at schools that I might be interested in. Now, a player that's older is probably going to actively use it a little bit more, but I would say start this your freshman year because you need to do a lot of that groundwork that we're talking about before you even start reaching out to coaches. And if I start my junior year, you're going to be behind. So just to make sure everyone sees this, David's going to be working with all the coaching staff to basically set minimum expectations and standards in terms of everyone using CFF. So you will have guidance. So we're here to help. The club's there to help. So if you do need anything, feel free to reach out to us or the club, and we're also going to continue to help you along the way. Like I mentioned, we'll be setting up more webinars and some things like that moving forward. But I really do appreciate everyone's time. I'm just going to stay on for a little bit longer to see if anyone has any other questions. But if not, have a great rest of your night, and thank you for everything. How new do the videos need to be? I would say that you need to have them as new as possible, because let's just say you are a junior and all you have is video from when you're a freshman. I'm guessing you developed a ton more since your freshman year. So, you know, if you don't have new footage, you can't really do anything about it, but I would say that they need to be updated as often as possible. I would update them every year, and that means you're going to have to start getting a lot of footage even after you've already created a video. So just make sure that you're getting a ton of footage and you're continuously updating your videos or just creating a new one if it's been a year or two since you've created that. That way coaches can see how you're actively developing on your videos. All right, everyone. If you do have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. I do appreciate everyone being on the call. I'll send out the recording, and have a great rest of your night. Thanks, everybody.